Hey YouTube, long time no see. First video really back for a while, and probably the last one for a little while too. Been ultra busy during Gigsmas, as it's called, the month of December. This is the busiest time I've ever had in a December, and I just kind of came out of nowhere, and I have not had a lot of time to make videos or work on my audition that is coming up a little sooner than I would like. I've not had a lot of time to work on that either, but I have been very busy, been playing a lot, and I thought I'd give you guys, y'all, again, try not to gender, a little update on things. Like I said, I've been playing a lot. I've gotten the most trial by fire ever for my King 3BF. I love this thing. It is one of the better trombones I've ever had. It's actually not like the best trombone itself. It's not like, the intonation's a little weird, and like the low range gets a little hot for my taste, and like there's just little quirks about it that are not perfect. But it is so perfectly adequate for so many situations. It is the most jack of all trades horn I've ever had, and it just is so good at everything. I can't imagine a Bach 36B. I've had a couple. I can't really imagine one of those being better than this 3BF. And I've played a few other 3Bs that are kind of similar to this, similar vintage and stuff, with and without the F attachment. And most of them are a little bit brighter, a little bit lighter, which is honestly a good thing for most situations when you use a horn like that. Mine is actually kind of dark, a little bit larger sounding than most of the 3Bs, and for my purposes it is perfect that way. It just fits in everywhere. It plays well with trumpets, it plays well with other trombones. It just, man, so happy with it, not only because it's good, but also because it was basically $0 after I sold my Silver Sonic, which was the previous horn to this, of course. It basically cost nothing, so it has made me a lot of money and cost zero money. And I can put it in my modified SKB case, and it's a perfect jack of all trades horn. Like, I don't get a chance to practice it a lot, but sometimes I get it out back home and I'm like, wow, this thing really is pretty good. And like I said, it's not a perfect instrument in the way that it plays, but it is still very good. If it were not that good, I would think about modifying it or something, but it is just perfect as is. Also been playing my bass trombone a lot, had some small orchestra work, had some other stuff, and it just blows me away continually how good it is. It sounds even better on the other side of the bell than it does behind it. On my side of the bell, I really enjoy playing it. I like how it sounds and stuff. But listening to recordings, I have some from different situations. I put up a video of a little concert that I was in, for instance, but I have a couple others as well. And I'm just like, dang, it really is a little larger, a little darker than it feels behind the instrument. It works so well with tubas. It works so well with trombones. It's just, I'm every time I get it out, I'm like, oh yeah, this thing's amazing. I forgot. For some reason, my brain is always going like, ooh, you need a new instrument. You need a new instrument. No matter what it is. Like, I've done that with this too. But I get it out and I'm like, no, I don't. There's very few instruments on the planet that are better than this, and none that I currently have, so there's no point in pining after them. Also played some large tenor. 42B is going to be at least retired soon, because my project with 36 bell, the 42 G star bell, 2 different valve sections, 3 different slides, that's going to be done pretty soon. And I have a feeling it's going to be way better than this 42B, which is a pretty good 42B, but I'm just not going to need it. So if nothing else, it's going to get chopped up and made into a double valve section. Maybe I'll cut the bell. Maybe I'll just sell it as a trombone. I'm not sure right now, but that's definitely coming up soon. Contra is out for rent right now. I just don't have it. I haven't played it. Of course, I should only really be practicing for the audition, but like I said, I've had basically zero time for that. And I kind of won't for another couple of weeks. I will not have that much time to actually work on the Audition. Oh well. And that basically means I should really only be playing the instrument I'm going to be using for the Audition. And of course, real life gets in the way, and I can't do that, but I can at least save a little bit of my time and my face by not playing extraneous instruments that have no use. So the Contra is out for rent, and it's making me money, and I'm not playing it, sadly. And I've made a couple acquisitions. I did trade my Griego Alessi 1C, where is it? There it is, for basically the same mouthpiece, except it's a Greg Black. This is a Greg Black Alessi 1.5M. I think a 1C is more analogous to a 1.25, which is a little bit shallower than this, but about the same rim, kind of the same design overall. And this is, I think, too big for me in my current state. I did own a New York 1.25 that was really, really good. The 1C was also really, really good. I think I work really well with that size, and of course I traded it away, just like I sold my 1.25M. Just boneheaded move. Oh well. This is really neat. It's pretty rare. Not a lot of these around. And this is my first Alessi 1 size mouthpiece. Probably going to sell it or something. I don't need it. And my 3G, 5G is doing the job pretty well. Also this bass trombone. It's not my Axial Monster, which is right here. Yeah, there's two of these. You can tell by the spacing on the F attachment there. This is an early Edwards B454. You can tell it's early because, at a distance anyway, you can see the weird F valve paddle. Like, this is even earlier than the ones that I recognize. It's got the early style G flat paddle. This carried on a lot longer than this did for sure, so it wouldn't be as easy to tell. And if you get up close, of course, you can see that this is not edge braced, it is bell braced. And if you get real close, you can see it says Edwards by Getzen. This is not even an Edwards by themselves instrument. Edwards by Getzen, which is, I think, how the company started. They needed a name to piggyback off of, so they were Edwards by Getzen. I found this locally for a pretty good price, and I was kind of like, well, I can either have it for a little bit, maybe I don't like it, and I can sell it for a little bit more, no big deal, or I can use it at Disneyland. I've been using my main axe at Disneyland for the last couple months probably, and it works so well. I love it. It's really fun to play. It's actually not too heavy or anything, but I really don't want it to get beat up. It's irreplaceable. It would take me forever to replace it with something that's equivalent, and it's not quite perfect for that job. It's a little bit too big, a little bit too dark sometimes, and I'd rather just not have it there. And the full-time bass trombonist at Disneyland, which of course is not me, I'm just a sub, uses basically exactly this. This is his main axe. He has an Edwards by Getzen with axials, yellow bell, same dual bore slide and everything. And it's like the perfect instrument for the job. It plays really loud, it plays really in tune, it projects like crazy, it's easy to play, actually not that heavy, at least to my arm. I'm so used to heavy bass trombones at this point, I guess, but it's pretty ergonomic actually. Get a grip fits on it as well. But actually weirdly good for the gig. You wouldn't expect like a 90s orchestral canon of a trombone to be good at that gig, but it really is. So I'm going to test this out. I haven't had a chance. I only had it for like a day, but I will get to play it next week in the park. And if it works, I'm going to make this the park instrument of choice. I'm just super tired of playing that Yamaha 830. I don't want to ruin my main axe at the gig. And for the price I got this, it's worth it. It will not be a huge deal, especially since I'm going to sell some other stuff like my extraneous 16M, maybe this 42B, maybe some other stuff. Not planning on selling the Holton 185 anytime soon because that's still an amazing instrument and it does things that neither this or my other horn do. And if I did sell it, it would be for like $4 grand. It's so cool and it's so rare. and it's not worth more as money unless it's a lot of money. So I will again have 3 bass trombones, at least for a little bit. Kind of excited to play this. It's got the usual characteristics. It's easy, it's in tune, high range works, low range works, and it sounds pretty boring. It's not a bad sound. It's very wide, and it's got like a lot of fundamental in it, but it's not hollow. There's some instruments that just kind of are like, oh. But this has like, it's got a lot of meat to the sound. It's just, there's not a lot of color in it. It's not very interesting. And honestly, that's okay. I don't need that all the time. The Yamaha 830, which is also very boring, is boring in a different way that is not satisfying at all. So we'll see if I can deal with this. That's about all I've got for now. And I'll see you all soon, TM.